Hey guys, to start us off in Unit 2, I thought that a video might be helpful so that I could talk you through what we are going to be doing today and tomorrow, and maybe Wednesday if it takes us that long. What we're doing is we're starting our new unit in Pre-AP. It's called Unit 2, Pivotal Words and Phrases. If you would like a copy of this book and you are remote, just send me an email or a conversation via the Canvas inbox, and I will make sure that one is put in the office for you. In the meantime, everything that you need is located here on our Canvas page. So, what we're going to start with today will be finding poetry in prose. And the first thing that I should talk you through is what is prose? Because I'm pretty confident that all of you know what poetry is. So, prose is the opposite of poetry. Prose is anything where the story is easily understandable and everything is fully written out. So, a short story, a newspaper article, a book that you read, literally anything that is not poetry is going to fall under the category of being prose. So that's step one. Now that you know that definition, our lessons today, our lesson goals are to identify what distinguishes poetry from prose, to analyze a poet's choices in a found poem, to construct a found poem based on a short story, and to reflect on your own writing process and choices. That's what we're doing today. Again, this is going to take us probably both today and tomorrow. It might take us Wednesday. So I have not planned anything else. It's just going to be this activity. I do have the Google Slides for you to look at as well as a printable handout. So for right now, let's look at that handout. All right, here we go. So the first thing that we are going to do when we're looking at this sheet is we are going to view what is Exhibit A and Exhibit B on the following page. Exhibit A and Exhibit B are here. Here is A, here is B. Now, at a quick glance, without reading anything, I'm pretty sure that you could locate and identify which one is going to be the poem and which one is going to be prose. So up here at the top, I'm going to say, which do you think is poetry? Which do you think is prose? Write a few sentences. Tell me how you would know the differences between them. And then talk to me about a few observations that you see between those two. Now, what makes Exhibit A poetic? What's the subject of the poem? Which words act as telling details? We did a lot with telling details all through Unit 1. And can you make any connections to previous text we have read? I hope so, because we did a lot with this other one. Here is A and B again. Once you take care of that, we're going to look at Exhibit B. And here is a snippet from Exhibit B. And the question is, what do you notice about this sentence? I would like for you then to go back to right here, and I would like for you to draw a line through or cross off, or however you would like to do it, any word that the poet did not use, because the poet only uses a precious few words. So you cross off the ones that the poet did not choose. And then tell me, what kinds of words did the poet leave out? Why did the poet keep certain words? I mean, that's going to be entirely your opinion, but you are looking for what's the point? Which words are the strongest? Which make the point? Now, once you look at Exhibit B to Exhibit A, which is going to be the poem that's based off of, that poem is called a found poem or found poetry. Found poetry is where you take an existing text and you pull out the words that are poetic. They form a poem. All right. So again, you've seen how this one works. Here's Exhibit A. It's a long passage. The poet, crossed off all the words that added fluff and added detail that they didn't want to choose, and they created a new story and gave it a new title. That is what we are going to do for the second part of this activity. So for the first part of this activity, it's okay if it takes you a little bit, because I really want you to process how this poet created this poem, because everything the poet used came directly from Exhibit B. For the second part of our activity, you are going to create one. And the one that you are going to create is going to come from what happened during the ice storm. Now, you are going to have a copy of this in one of two ways. One, if you already have a copy of Pivotal Words and Phrases, the second book, this is going to be the very first story inside of it. And good news, see, right there. And if you do not have a copy of this new book, this story is located inside of the one that you do have. And if it's not here, I'm going to also post a link. You're going to reread that. That's the first step. And then I would like for you to go step by step by step so that you have all of these do's. I do want you to reread it. I do want you to underline or annotate any language that shows what is happening instead of just tells what happens. Two, you need to decide your focus. What's going to be your focus? Is the focus going to be the pheasants? Is your focus going to be the severity of the storm? Is your focus going to be the suspense behind what the boys are doing when they're outside? What is your focus? Then you are going to copy the language that you may use onto a separate sheet of paper. You don't have to use every single word. You can pull more than what you need. You just pull that off to the side so that you can decide what's going to fit the best. Then you cut out anything that you don't need. Do not add any of your own language. You just need to work with the words that were originally there. You do have the freedom to repeat any language, to change the punctuation or capitalization or the line breaks, experiment with how you want to space the words out. All of that is fine. Finally, don't sound goofy and don't think that I'm ridiculous, but poems are meant to be read out loud. Because of that, do read aloud your found poem, pausing briefly where the line ends, where the line breaks, punctuation. If something sounds wrong, then tweak it, fix it, change it. You have the freedom to do that. And finally, give your poem a title. You may not use What Happened During the Ice Storm because that one was already taken. When you go to submit this, you are going to submit the answers to this worksheet. You are going to submit your found poem on a separate sheet of paper. And the last thing that you will do after you have analyzed how they Exhibit A and Exhibit B from up top, after you have created your own found poem, finally, you're going to reflect about your process. You're going to think about how you did what you did. Read through my instructions, write them on the lines. And guys, as a hint, now that we're 9 weeks into the semester, if I provide several lines for you to write, my goal is for you to write several lines. Do you have to write enough to fill up every single space here? No. Should you write more than 3 words? Definitely. Absolutely, you should. Okay, I'm going to have a few other links for you in pretty short order. I'm going to have those up on our Canvas page. But again, the expectation is going to be for you to take care of this activity, and this activity is going to carry you for both Monday and Tuesday. If it takes you into Wednesday, that's fine. I don't have anything new set up for Wednesday for you. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. I would love to help you with this. Talk to you soon.